Crusaders take the opening drive all the way for a touchdown here to start this second half. 5:56 left to go in the third quarter. 14-7, MCC leads after a Zach Campbell 4-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, that was a big statement coming out of halftime for the Crusaders. You know, a couple of it wasn't easy. You know, this is a good Fruitport team, and it's taking sustained drives and obviously a huge fourth down conversion there. Now we'll see if MCC can get back to playing its shutdown defense like it was for the first 19 minutes of the game.
Here comes the kickoff off the foot of Campbell, and that is a big boot. It's going to be fielded at the 6-yard line coming off the right-hand side, and he's got an opening. Flag down on the play, breaking the run free for the Trojans. It looks like it's Austin Curtis. So he'll get caught from behind. Excuse me, that Tyler Failer, the quarterback, taking that kick back. But there is a flag way back there, and Tommy Mitchell is trying to stand up, and he is hurt right now. That is not a good sign for the Crusaders.
The flag is a good sign for the Crusaders, but Tommy Mitchell, a two-way starter, cannot afford to lose.
No, he's one of those inspirational leader type of guys, not necessarily the biggest on that line. And he's going to get helped off the field. He got right back to his feet, but he just wasn't comfortable taking a step, and he's having a hard time putting weight on his left leg right now. But you can see a senior, Tommy, really not wanting to get carried off the field, wanting to walk off under his own power, taking his time, catching his breath. Meanwhile, it was a block penalty on the Trojans, and they're going to have to take that ball back inside the 10-yard line, first down and 10 with the nose of the ball right at the 10.
And that's a big turn because that was a great return by Tyler Failer. He's showing he can do it all. But to go from being deep in MCC territory to inside their own 10.
Comes the play. Gordon with a handoff from Failer out of the shotgun. Gordon off the right-hand side, and he's got about 4 or 5 yards on first down for the Trojans.
Yeah, and when we talk about injuries, one thing worth noting, Mitchell Reyes had that really scary-looking knee injury in the first half for Fruitport. He's back out and playing for Fruitport, which is good to see because it looked like when he came off the field that he might not come back. But he is back in the game. The number 2 receiver for Fruitport is Sean Knox, and he is out with an injury tonight, and so that will affect their passing game a little bit.
Failer in the shotgun, 2 receivers to his left, and he is looking to hit one of them. Pass across the middle. That one's going to fall incomplete, intended for Vile. And I don't know if he just didn't know the ball was coming, but it basically went right by the head of Phil Mesker right there.
Yeah, I think he heard the footsteps and thought he was going to be hit there, but you know, Fruitport has not thrown the ball near this much in a game this season, simply because they haven't been able to run the ball against the Crusader defense, and so they're really throwing more than they would like to.
So some work ahead for the Crusader corners and safety. Here comes Lewandowski on a blitz as they're going to try and keep this one. Failer running up the middle. He's got absolutely nowhere to go on third down as he gets stuffed. That's going to bring up 4th and long for the Trojans. Great play there by the Crusader defense.
Yes, absolutely. You know, Failer is a running quarterback, kind of like a Zach Campbell, and he's run wild for most of this season, but he's finding it's much harder against this MCC defense than some of the defenses he's played before this.
This isn't the Lakes 8 anymore.
No.
Here comes the punt for the Trojans. It's over the head of the punter. He did a fantastic job just to field it. Cribley kicks it off, and it's going to land. It's actually going to bounce from the 30 all the way to the 40-yard line. So Cribley with a huge play there, and a very, very late flag comes out onto the field.
Yeah, we're seeing some emotions here. I don't think Fruitport's used to this type of a physical game, but they're having all kinds of problems with the punt snaps.
So let's wait and see what the call is from the official. Ball is marked at the 40. Dead ball, personal foul, and they're going to call that on the Crusaders. So that is going to move the ball back another 15 yards. So it looks to be an emergency situation. Cribley saves it by getting the punt off after fielding it over his shoulder to catch it and tack that 15 yards on, and the Crusaders start at their own 45.
Yeah, I thought, I saw the flag go up in the air. I thought they were flagging one of the Fruitport players for a little extracurricular activity, but obviously they saw something from the Crusader side of it. So still good field position.
First down and 10. Lewandowski and Anderson in the eye. They're going to hand it off to Lewandowski, and he's going to take it right up the middle and fall forward for about 3.5 yards on first down.
Yeah, I expect the Crusaders here now with a 14-7 lead, to keep it on the ground. They're good field position. There's no sense in doing anything, that could change the momentum here. I think they're content to keep it on the ground and keep grinding the clock.
They did that in the first half. Their first drive, they stopped Fruitport 3 and out, and their first drive took all the rest of the first quarter and into the second quarter before they finally missed that field goal. And the Crusaders jumped on that down as Campbell was about to snap the ball, and that's going to move the ball back to the 43-yard line. It'll be second down and 12 for MCC. 3:25 left to go here in the third quarter. Crusaders 14, the Trojans 7.
You mentioned how Greg Vargas is one of the newest coaches in the area, first-year coach at Fruitport, taking over for the legendary Steve Wilson. But he's certainly not new to Fruitport football. He's been around Fruitport football forever. He played there and was a standout, and he's actually been coaching for 15 years, starting in the middle school, 5 at the JV level, and the last 5 as a varsity assistant.
Comes a handoff to Lewandowski. He takes it all the way back up to midfield. That'll make it third down and 5 for the Crusaders. Yeah, I had a chance to talk with Coach Vargas this week, and when he came back to Fruitport as a student, or after being a student as a teacher, he kind of looked at that varsity football head coaching position and said, that's where I want to be. And he made those dreams come true. It's a pretty cool story.
Yeah, and what a great year so far, starting off with that 1-point win over Reese Puffer in the opener, and to be 7-0, ranked number 5 in the state in Division III. So, yeah, it's been a great first year for Greg, a really great guy.
Handoff to Jesse Anderson. He's going to get greeted right at midfield. Maybe fell forward to the 49, but that's going to bring up fourth down and 4. And I think the Crusaders are going to punt this one away as the clock ticks inside 2 minutes left here in the third quarter of play.
That's big Chris Hendricks there. He's a transfer from Mona Shores. He was a starter last year for the Sailors, and now he's a two-way force for the Trojans as a junior.
Good sign for MCC as Tommy Mitchell raced out to the field. They faked it. They gave it to Lewandowski. He's hopping across. He's very close to the first down. It's going to depend on the mark, and it looks like they're going to mark him just short.
Yeah, that's
an interesting, we're going to wait and see, but that official is going to, I think he's going to call for the chains to come out. And they give it an official measurement. Now the official on this sideline, on our sideline, first went all the way up to the 45, and then he kind of backed his way up to the 46. And the ball is going to be short of the 45, and I think we're going to be about a foot short of this one.
It looks like they're going to be short.
So give Fruitport good field position. They keep stretching that chain out, and it is way close, but it is much closer than we thought. About 2 links of the chain short. And the Fruitport Trojans will take over on their own 46 with good field position. 1:47 left to go here in the third quarter. In a game like this, I can't argue with the call.
No, not at all, and especially with Alex Lewandowski ball. And, the Crusader fans didn't like that spot at all, but honestly, I think that was a good spot.
No, I'm with you.
Alex did a great job after he was down, pushing it out further, but I think he was down just short of the 45, and so it was a good call and a good defensive play by Fruitport.
Here come the Trojans. They're going to hand it off to Gordon, and he gets nailed in the backfield as Phil Mesker breaks through the line and drops him for a loss of a yard.
Yeah, I think maybe Greg Vargas thinks, okay, maybe this Crusader defense is getting a little bit tired. Now, hopefully, we'll be able to run the ball. Well, not so. Mesker came charging in as if he hadn't played a play yet. He still looks very fresh. MCC looks to be more fresh right now than the Trojans.
Yeah, as both teams huddled up, the Trojans had players with hands on their hips. The Crusaders are ready and raring to go. 2nd down and 11 from their own 44. Here come the Crusaders on the blitz. They're going to hit it in the backfield of football. Lamar Jordan has recovered for MCC.
A huge hit by guess who there, Matt?
Just number 15, Alex Lewandowski. Not a big deal.
A great defensive play call. They got to Failer. Alex Lewandowski makes the big hit. Lamar Jordan is there to jump on the ball. Great defense by the Crusaders. Again, they just had that brief little time there at the end of the first half where they kind of went to sleep a little, but other than that, the defense has been outstanding.
Another turnover for the Trojans, and the Crusaders take over on the 38. They're going to hand this on an end around to Kari Campbell. Look out, here comes the big man down the field, rumbling for a 7-yard gain on 1st down. Wow, that is definitely something we haven't seen yet this year.
Wow, talk about a scary sight for a high school defensive back to see Kari Campbell running downhill at you. You are not kidding. I mean, Mitchell Ray is 5'11", 155 over on that side, and you got Kari Campbell coming at you. You're in a little bit of a panic mode. Sure.
Here comes Lewandowski right up the middle with it. Not too much going there as Crusaders, in between the tackles, aren't getting a ton of yardage right now.
Now, again, it's like I mentioned, those 2 defensive tackles in the middle for Fruitport. Emilio Flores is 6'4", 255. Chris Hendricks is 6'5", 265. So just their sheer girth alone makes it hard to run up there.
Crusaders are going to let the time run off the clock here. They'll face 3rd down and 2 from the Fruitport 30-yard line to start the 3rd quarter. Listen to this crowd up on its feet. We'll take a break and come back with the 4th quarter after this on Country 93.1.